welcome, welcome. Yes, I am alone, but I am only alone for the very first bingo card. David is at Roots, and he'll be joining us in between the first bingo card and the second bingo card. You know how it is when you're either traveling or running around or at Roots. You got to try and find that internet connection. Anyway, my name is Sandy. Thank you for joining WikiTree Bingo. I appreciate you guys being here. And how's everybody doing tonight? This is kind of an interesting weather that we're having here in my neck of the world. And I think from seeing everybody's else weather, you guys are kind of chilly out there too. So I hope everybody settles in, gets warm. Are you wearing the green? We are celebrating Ireland with this bingo. And I posted the bingo card for the very first bingo card of the month. And it's going to feature somebody called Arthur Guinness. We get a lot of really cool information to tell you about Guinness too. Some things that I was a little bit surprised about as we went through looking at the brewers. And I will tell you that David and I kind of devised this idea for the bingo, the showcase notables. And what we're trying to do every month is come up with just something different, something that's not going to always grab at your attention and automatically say, oh, okay, it's this month. Sandy and David are going to show this for bingo. So this might be the closest one that we have. Yes, Arthur Guinness. Yes, Ireland. Yes, March. And what's that? St. Patrick's Day. But there's a lot of cool information about Guinness that we learned along the way that we hope to share. Does everybody have their bingo card? You see where you can get it? If not, scroll back up through the chat a little bit and you can see it. I will tell you that Stephen, we are twins. I have my shamrock hung on my front door as well. And thank you, everybody. I thank you, everybody, for being here tonight. I don't want to use the hashtag not at Roots, but if you are not at Roots like me, then you're here. And in a few minutes, if you are at Roots, you'll see David kind of at Roots as well. Oh, that's kind of helps. My dog has a green hoodie on. That works, right? I got to agree, Ann. I love that beard too. Some people either love it or hate it. It's really interesting. I happen to like it. David is here, but he will join in 30 minutes. And Stephen has a green shirt on as well. Well, I would be worried if it was really, really cold where you're at, Darren. So I'm glad to see the weather's holding out for you. And I would agree, Carol, that the St. David's Day is important as well, the patron saint of Wales. My own ancestors, the coal miners, do come from Wales as well as Ireland and Scotland, England, possibly Germany. I'm still looking at my tree. How about you guys? You still trying to figure out your ancestors to see where yours came from? If you have any from Wales, if you have any from Ireland, let me know. And maybe that's why we put on a green outfit today. That's what I did, Judy. That's definitely why I did it. You guys are cracking me up with the green. I love it. So who's ready to play the first bingo card? Let's go ahead and let me bring that up real quick again for those of you that came in a little bit late. Here's the first bingo card. I am going to give you the rules. And don't worry, we're going to talk about Guinness's profile in a little bit as well. So for bingo, a person can win a bingo prize from WikiTree once every 6 months. There's one prize per household every 6 months. And we did a little bit of changing with the prizes because it was getting a little complicated. Some people wanted something that was over the dollar limit, and it was just getting a little complicated. So now what we did with the prize, for bingo prizes, you get a mug. So you get one mug, but there are many, many choices of mugs. As you know, I love my bingo mug, but I also love my Appalachian Mutts rug. If you have a Thon team, you can also get a Thon team mug. There's lots of options. It does not have to be just the bingo mug, but it is a mug now as a prize for bingo. It is open to everybody, not just WikiTreeers. So if you happen to be at Roots, pull in some of those people at Roots and let them know that they can participate too. And we can talk a little WikiTree with them along the way. And there are 2 bingo cards tonight that we're going to go over. How do you win bingo? You use your mouse, you click on the word as I say it, or phrase, and you can win horizontal, diagonal, or vertical. And please, as you guys know, do not forget, yell at me in the chat because I get talking about these notables and these profiles and I love them. So feel free to yell at me, bingo, 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 and I will make sure to see who wins bingo for the first time. Yeah, see, you guys are this is cool because you guys are starting to see the bingo card and you're seeing the same things that we saw with the bingo card and the facts and the trivia for Guinness. It's amazing. Some of these facts are really amazing. And hi, Joy. So you have Ireland, Wales, Scotland, and Irish. We're twins. We might have the same ancestors. I might have to look at your profile and see how we connect afterwards. And Carol, we're going to talk about that perfect pour as well because there's controversy with that. Can you believe it? And I got to point out, Carol, too. I almost wore my Guinness sweatshirt. I had been to the Guinness factory in Dublin and myself, and I would like to say that I rushed through the tour to get to the samples at the end, but I did not. It's a fascinating tour, and I actually liked the beginning of the tour the best because it kind of showed back in the day when Guinness was first started and how they operated. And then you get to kind of walk through the factory and see a little bit of that as well. And yes, you do end up at the samples on the way. So, and I see, yep, 4 WikiTree mugs. This is cool. Okay, so if you guys are ready, I want to talk to you a little bit about Guinness. So this is a profile of Guinness, and I have put him in the chat earlier, and I'll do it one more time. It's really amazing. So his father was actually a brewer for a landowner, and that's how Arthur learned a little bit about how to brew. It's really interesting to me because, as you know, my project is Appalachia, and we learn from our elders, and that's exactly what Arthur Guinness did. And if you think back, wow, what would we have learned from our elders that would have been really cool that we could have been as rich as Guinness is or as well known as Guinness is? So I think it's interesting as you go through the profiles and the notables of WikiTree, a lot of them say that they either started from the ground, the very bottom, or they learned from their elders. This is an Ireland Project profile. And a big shout out to the Ireland Project because they knew in advance that we were going to show this profile and they really went in to make sure that everything was up to their par. And I appreciate all the work that the Ireland Project has done. So as we know that Arthur Guinness was the creator of the Guinness Stout and the founder of the Guinness Brewery, which is St. James Gate. I want to mention real quick that a lot of people get confused stout and porter. Porter is a little sweeter. They look similar, a little sweeter, and stout is a much darker and bolder beer. We'll talk about that with the bingo cards as well. If, as with any profile, especially when we're dating back to 1700s, we have a lot of facts, but we might not have all the facts. So if you notice here, they have talked a little bit about the family tradition of where he was born. This is such a great profile. And we talked about all the kids. You'll see that there are 11 mentioned here. And then let's talk a little bit about his brewing. So here it mentions that he learned about beer brewing itself from his father. And then once on his own, he started a very, very small brewery. He gifted that business to a younger brother and then signed a lease on this little founding brewery over at St. James Gate in Dublin, Ireland. And that is what became the Guinness beer that we know today. This was a great profile. Thank you again to the Ireland Project. I think they do not. I want to show you this, and let me come over here. So when we talk about St. James Gate, this is kind of what we're talking about. And when you go on a tour, this is one of the first things that you're going to see when you go to Guinness. Okay, who is ready to play bingo? Everybody have your card? Let's bring up the game and start. Okay, you guys know the rules. Now, the reason why I'm starting on the bingo card a little bit early is there are a lot of facts. As you guys have seen the bingo card already, there are a lot of facts to get through. So give me a second, because this is kind of where we're doing a hybrid of trivia and bingo at the same time. So here we go. Ireland. Well, this one's kind of easy, right? So Guinness was born in Ireland, and when people think of Guinness, the first thing that they think of is probably a beer made in Ireland. Nigeria, and I saw that Darren wanted to know about this. This is a fascinating fact, and this is one of those ones that I said that I was surprised about. So 40% of Guinness that is consumed around the world is consumed in Africa. And Nigeria is one of the locations that has a large Guinness brewery. Oh, sorry. Here we go. Thank you, Liza. I appreciate it. See, I don't have my partner here today. Let me go back. So we had Ireland and we have Nigeria. So this is truly going to be a global reach. So if 40% is consumed in Africa, I'm going to take a guess that probably maybe 59% is consumed in Ireland. I'm not sure about that. Okay, and Carol mentioned this. The ideal pour takes one. Well, let me break it down into something a little bit easier or better to understand. So the average pour, or ideal pour, excuse me, for a Guinness is 1 minute, 32 and a half seconds. I think I got that right. I think I got my math right. Maybe 34. So here's the controversy. If you have been around the news lately, the controversy is this a marketing ploy or is it not? And there is a bartender in London swears this is all just a marketing ploy, that Guinness is really, really good about this, and it's just a marketing ploy. I'll leave it up to you. So the next time that you go out and you have a Guinness, ask your bartender, is this the perfect pour? Is there such thing as a perfect pour? Thank you, Liza. I thought I was off. So 1 minute, 59 and a half seconds. No, wait, I'm still wrong.
First pour is 1 minute, 3:32. The rest of the pour is the other.
I think the rest of the first minute is a minute 32, and then they pause. So they let the foam kind of settle down, and then they keep pouring. And it is actually a 6-step process to make the perfect pour for a Guinness. And again, next time you're up at the bar and you order a Guinness, watch and ask them if they think that there is a perfect pour, or is it just marketing? And this was an interesting one. So Guinness was a very religious person, and it might sound strange. He was a very religious person, but he sold a lot of beer. And as we know, when that happens, sometimes people overdo it a little bit. But he was of the mindset that teetotalism was drunkenness. He believed that drunkenness was actually attributed to liquor and not specifically to beer. And I think that was, again, is trying to give himself an out, pretty much. And yes, Stephen. Okay. So the creamy head on a Guinness isn't just for, yes, you need to click teetotalism. So the creamy head on a Guinness isn't just for aesthetics. It helps enhance the flavor and the aroma. And don't worry, I'm going to give you guys the word that corresponds with it as well. So that would be scientific foam. Now, I have been told, and someone will have to fact check me, that all the vitamins that you need, or majority of vitamins you need, are in the foam. of a beer. Not sure if I believe that or if that was another marketing ploy. Okay, Guinness is actually a dark ruby red color due to the roasting of a barley. So everybody thinks it's dark brown or black. And you probably heard of black and tan where they mix the two different beers together. So what you want to do is go ahead and click on red. It's actually a dark ruby red color. Oh, we've got 2 away. In stout, we talked a little bit about stout, and Guinness is the inventor of it. It is a much darker, bolder beer. There are actual bingo spots. I'm sorry, I'm sorry that this is confusing. This is where we give the trivia in the way that our bingo program, it kind of varies between words and the trivia to allow us to keep it a little bit different. So I will tell you, you should have scientific foam, red, perfect pour, Nigeria, teetotalism, and now stout. Again, it's a darker or bolder beer. You either are probably going to love it or hate it. And this would be the word nitrogen, the first beer to use nitrogen for its creamy head. And that was in 1959. Anyone close? And again, you're going to click on the word nitrogen. You know, it's a good question, Ann. If they have a special glass, I think they prefer. We got a lot of people want off. I think they prefer their branded glass. And brewery. And again, the brewery today is at St. James Gate. Oh, that's interesting. So, John, our Irish John, said some of his Hutton family worked in the Guinness factory. So, again, just to recap, you should have stout. You should have teetotalism, which is known as drunkenness that was attributed to liquor, not to beer. You should have red. Guinness is actually a dark red, ruby red. You should have nitrogen, which is the first beer to use nitrogen for its creamy head. You should have perfect pour. The ideal pour takes 119.5 seconds. You should have scientific foam. The creamy head of a Guinness isn't just for the aesthetics. Okay. Well, now, John, this is interesting. This is really big news. So one of his Hutton ladies married the son of Arthur Guinness. I'm sorry, guys, for the confusion. We just thought we'd change it up. We'll go back to the regular words next time. Okay. And in 1803 equals 724K monthly. And I will tell you what that means. Pints. So in 1803, 724,000 pints were served monthly. Okay, and where is he buried? He is actually going to be buried in what they think is his hometown. And Irish John, if I get this wrong, let me know. Altar yard, church yard, and he is buried next to his parents. Oh, we got a bingo. Congratulations, Kirby. Kirby, if you could do me a huge favor and just give me your WikiTree ID number, that would be handy. Yeah, you guys are funny. I love the bingos. And let me tell you how to get your prize. You're going to email Eowyn, and she's going to let you know how to claim your prize. Eowyn@wikitree.com. Okay, hang in there with me, guys. We're going to have David join us in 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. There we go. We got it, David. We have an echo.
So I am surrounded by about 1,000 people, so I can barely hear the conversation. So please excuse me if I miss your questions.
Oh, we have an echo.
I have a what?
Echo.
I have an echo.
No.
Hmm.
You're good. You have earbuds?
No. Let me see if I can. I'm going to sign out and sign in again.
Okay. Hang in there with us, guys. I know we like to try different things, and I'm gonna take it that this bingo trivia is not a fan. So we'll keep working on it, and we'll come up with other ways to make bingo a little bit more interesting with trivia, where it's not so confusing. You guys are funny in there too. I couldn't type that fast. I want to point out that is really the key. Multiple people can win bingo at the same time, but whoever types the fastest is the one who wins. Okay, let's try again, David.
Okay, do I still have an echo?
No, I think we're good.
You can hear me? Okay.
We can. Welcome. What's the
Oh,
weather
thank
like?
you. Pardon?
What's the weather like?
What's the weather like? Well, I have no idea because I'm inside, but I can tell you what it was. It was snowing, but about 60 degrees. Well, it wasn't snowing, but there's snow on the ground. But it's probably about 60 degrees.
60.
So, but I haven't been outside for a while.
It's warmed up then.
Now I put on my green jacket.
That's right, because see, we were talking about that. That's great. Here's bingo card number 2. I love that. Here's bingo card number 2, and I want to show you guys something. And this is kind of why David and I revamped the bingo this year, is to show bingo notables, because it's fun. It's really fun. And we've talked about this a couple times, that a lot of people find WikiTree because they're searching on a notable. So why not bring more notables to WikiTree? And if they're already there, why not improve them a little bit? And as you see, that with Guinness, the Ireland project actually did a fantastic job on that profile. So David and I have been talking about what type of bingos we're going to do for the rest of the year. And I knew when March came around again that we were going to do brewers. And part of the reason why, there's already a category set up for brewers, a main category. And then there's also subcategories set up for countries for brewers. But there's not a whole lot of them. So we thought, let's improve that. Let's fix this. And I love David's pages. He comes up with the best pages. So as we scroll down and talk a little bit about just the profiles in general and connecting them and take a look at some of them, I put up the bingo card for the second bingo card. But David, this is kind of interesting to me. Sam Adams has a CC7 of almost 25,000.
25,000.
I mean, that's crazy, right? That's amazing. And then you'll see right underneath of it, this is insane. Edward Anheuser has 389 CC7. I would have thought that would have been maybe reverse or at least the same or similar. So I was surprised at that. And we've got a lot of trivia again with the bingo card when it comes up, guys. Here is
Well,
the bingo.
you may be aware, but Samuel Adams is a cousin of John Adams.
Yeah.
So the whole John Adams family is all in there in that 25,000. So it's still a huge number, but I'm sure there's been lots of research on that family.
I just thought Anheuser would have had
Yeah.
something, with such a global and popular beer. And I will mention, so this is cool because Carol says that she hung out with the Miller family as well, and the Schlitz tours were the best. And I am jealous now. I would like to see that. And Stephen's funny. What DNA matches the brewed beer? I'm going to let you figure that out, Stephen. That would be a curious question. So as we go down and you see, so back, I mean, everybody, I love that David put the, marketing and
The logo
branding here, because you might think back, I've never heard of that beer, but once you see the branding, you've seen it. The logo, you've seen it. He's got zero. He's got zero. And if we have anybody here from the Germany project, there are 4 right here in a row. We would love to have your help with. And
you were saying how surprised you are with the high CC7s. What surprises me is now look at how many didn't even have profiles on WikiTree. The ones with 0 had none, and then you've got Valentino Blatz, who did have a profile. You could tell because he has 1 connection, so that means it was there, but that's it.
I mean, I know of Beck beer. I don't know if I've ever had a Beck beer, but I know of Beck beer, and I'm still surprised it's 0. Now, I will tell you all that we worked really, really hard for a global audience. We went to projects as well and asked them to give us something, give us one, give us something, and they did. But in full disclosure, beer clearly comes from Germany. So you're going to see a lot of
and German American.
Yeah, you're going to see a lot of German connections here.
But there you got your British Australian.
And then going and dipping into Prussian and Otto, of course. I've got great trivia about him. We'll talk about it when the bingo card comes up. And this was news to me. And Andrea was, we've got a little bit of Austria-Hungary in there. We talked about Guinness as well. And look at this. There's a lady here. So this is pretty interesting too. So if you're interested in working on a female brewer, David had to create this profile literally right before he left for Roots too, I might add, to bring her to prominence.
So she's not only, her husband owned the brewery and he passed away and she inherited, so she became the first female head of a brewery in the United States, but she was also the first CEO of an American corporation when she incorporated the business.
And that's pretty cool as well. And hold on, Liza, don't worry. We got you covered. We've got, of course, Heineken. And look, Heineken only 148. So they might be connected, but we would like to have them connected and see if we can increase their CC7 as well. Leblanc. So we wanted to make sure to bring in some of the Canadian. We have more than this too. And 0. This is not connected in 0 CC7.
Yeah,
I was surprised.
We'll have to fix the picture link there, but
yeah, that's fine. We've
got a couple of them there.
And keep in mind, this was literally, we were going out and we were shocked that we had to create so many profiles. And
absolutely.
Yeah, as Roots was coming along, so we got them in, and we'll spiffy up the page very shortly. And we're asking you guys to come in and see if you can help us connect and increase the CC7. I'm just so surprised. We've got a Belgium in here, Pabst. Pabst is a very popular beer. I've got some trivia about Pabst as well as we go through. Thank you to Frank with the Italy project and Chris with the Italy project. They gave us our Italian link to a beer. Joseph Schlitz, I will go ahead and bring up his profile briefly. 0. I cannot believe these words are at 0, but very, very interesting thing about him is that he died at sea. And David, there's a new died at sea. project, sub-project.
Oh, yes.
Wow.
Well, I didn't create it. Another member has created it. We're incorporating it into the global project, but I'm unfortunately I'm drawing a blank on her name right now, but she has done all of the work to put that together, and we're really happy to have it as part of the new global project. Any relatives you have that died at sea under any circumstances are eligible to be part of that project.
And David runs the global project for countries as well. And what this does, the Died at Sea, is kind of like the Remember the Children and the first responders. It kind of is on the other side of the global. This is kind of interesting as well because he came from Germany. Schluss came from Germany and started brewing and started working on. I want to give a shout out to the Germany project for this because I went to them, I created a profile, I asked for help if they could come and confirm some things because there were some questions. You notice there's research notes here, and they were fantastic. They came in, and I believe it was Marion, as a matter of fact, and Flo came in and helped confirm some things and clean up the profile. And you'll notice that he was a Freemason. There's also a Freemasonry project on WikiTree, in case you didn't know. I want to point this out, and the reason why I brought this up is because I accidentally left him off the bingo card, and I wanted to spend some time with him because it shows how many different projects or sub-projects or categories and things that are going on WikiTree can contribute to a profile. So we mentioned Freemasonry and Died at Sea. As you see, he was originally from Germany, so it went to England. And briefly, and then came to the United States. The reason why he died in England is because he was back there visiting, and he died at sea. So it's another sub-project that we're working on, just one profile that we brought together. We had no clue as we created some of these profiles how many different sub-projects or categories that they touch. And I really love adding the stickers and the categories to profiles.
And when I create these list of notables for the various challenges, I create the list kind of blindly. I don't pick and choose. So we'll come up with I don't know how many brewers we have here, but let's say 30 brewers. I make my list on a piece of notebook paper, and I don't know if they're connected, if they're not connected, what their CCC levels are, if they have a project manager, if they how many projects they might belong. I don't know any of that when I create the list. So it's kind of a hodgepodge, and that's why we say it's not a connectors challenge specifically. It's a profile improvement challenge. We want to get them connected, but we also want to get some bios written and make sure we don't have cut and paste from Wikipedia that we need to fix and all of that stuff. So you'll see some that have beautiful almost complete profiles, and then others that have nothing, and or others that have stuff that needs to be really cleaned up. So it's really random because I don't take that into account when I pick my notables.
It's really hard to spend that much time to find ones that are connected as much as Adams, for example. It's a lot of work to create pages. I'm sure you guys know, to create pages and wiki tables. And let me bring up Sam Adams. So he is our shining star. He's our best example. As you can see, I am 17 degrees from him. He's got almost, I think somebody added some in the past 15 minutes. I don't think he was at 2.
Oh yeah, look at that. It's gone up.
So anybody want to add one more to get us at that 25? That was kind of cool there. Thank you, whoever did that. But as you can see, even with that many, I'm 17 degrees away from them. And look how detailed in all the categories. As we come down, he is actually part of the 1776 project. And you can see.
And you know what's amazing about that number too is that's not his entire list of descendants. That's only seven steps. So I'm sure he's got many more going to current generations, but we're not talking his entire family tree. We're just talking people within 7 steps of him. So that's a lot of people.
That's a lot of people.
It's going to have a big Thanksgiving dinner at their house.
And they'll have beer.
Yep. Another, an interesting one that I'm interested to see. Adolphus Busch was from Germany. It came to America. I'm pretty sure I've got the right person. Came to America, and then where's I can not read that real carefully. Where did he pass away?
Germany.
Germany. Okay. So I've got the correct person. Born in Germany, came to America and ran his business and then returned to Germany. So I'm curious what kind of records he had, being that he was um, he was German from beginning to end, but he did do his business in the United States. So that'll be interesting to see what kind of records we have there.
So if you're part of the Germany project, you know how to research German roots, feel free, dig in. And I think that's important that we mention this every time. Just because they're notables doesn't mean you can't help with them. Now, when you do see a project box up here, like we had Sam Adams had the 1776, you do want to be a little bit careful and mindful because they have usually worked on the profile. And it's this is me. If I see a project box and I have a correction or I have an addition, I tend to leave it in the comments. It's just me. I feel like that's courtesy to a project, even though WikiTree is 100% collaborative. I'm just saying for me, that's what I feel comfortable with. But even as a notable, they're just people. They're just like us and they're just like our ancestors. They might be considered notable because they have a Wikipedia page or they are notorious for something or an entrepreneur. But that doesn't mean you can't work on them. A lot of people get scared and say, oh, it's a notable and run away and say, no, I can't touch it. But if you have a source or if you have a picture, this particular picture is his mausoleum. I thought it was like, his home, his church or something like that. No, this is where he is buried.
That's his tomb, yeah.
Okay.
Another thing, going to what you were saying about working on these profiles, the other thing we talk about, these notables are just regular people and they have regular families, but unfortunately we get a lot of work done on the notable, and if you click on mom or dad or the kids, you see nothing. You'll see a name, you'll see a birthday, and that's it. But sometimes those people had really fascinating lives too. What did his kids do after they inherited all that money? That's
Sometimes
there's stories there.
Yeah, there's a story there.
There's stories there, yeah.
And I appreciate you guys saying what you do. I agree. I haven't agreed with Joe. But if a profile is as developed and as beautiful as some of these, like Sam Adams, for example, I appreciate it. I read it. I spend time taking it in, but I don't have anything usually to add to it. So I do kind of walk away from thinking I could add something to it or do something to it. But I do sit. It fascinates me when I see more biography. I love headers. I love different headers than the full narrative, and I love seeing the photos as well. And thank you. I asked Profile Manager if I can change something or what to. And I love the courtesy that everybody has, knowing that it's still collaborative and still inviting to do. Okay, guys. So you ready for bingo? Let's try this again. David, we're trying a little bit of trivia bingo.
Okay.
And it's interesting. Let's say that. It's interesting. So if everybody has their bingo card up, I don't know. David, do you have your cheat sheet?
Let me see if I can pull it up here real quick.
If you don't, that's fine. I hope we can get to some of the trivia too, because
I don't think I'll get it.
These were really, really fascinating brewers. I will say that what I found as I went through a lot of the brewers, almost every single one of them were very heavily into charity, and there probably could be a reason for that. But a lot of them were heavily religious as well, which I kind of thought was interesting, especially as if you talk about America and prohibition and things like that.
Yeah, and you may have talked about this before I joined in, but going back to the 1800s and before, beer was a staple. It was a very important product that they were creating. It wasn't just the leisure drink like we have it today. So these were important people in their community.
Okay, let's go ahead and start. So the brewery produced Milwaukee's first individually bottled beer in 1874. And I will get you the word. If anybody wants to guess, you can as well. This one's a tough one. This is Valentine Blatz. I think it's tough. If you drink the beer, then you probably already know. And I got to agree with Carol. I mean, Milwaukee is
Yeah.
like ground central.
And that's one that is not perhaps as well known what beer today, but in its time, it was a very very important company that he had.
This one is fascinating to me. So this
Mhm.
is the prominent Nigerian. He's very large entrepreneur. He owns International Brewers, which not only brews beers based on the grains in Africa, but also distributes beers from everywhere in the world comes in. So he's kind of a brewery and a distributor. And I apologize if I get the name wrong. It's Lawrence Omole,
I think
Omole.
it's
And he's just a fascinating character. What he wanted to do is kind of bring more prominence and more jobs to his area, to his region, and this is how he did it. Okay, in Milwaukee, Jacob Best founded Empire Brewery and managed Pabst. And Jacob Best is the word or the person that you're looking for. The fascinating thing to me as well with Pabst is Pabst touches a lot of other beers, a lot of other companies they were either sold to or they bought, and they were around forever. And I, if you know me well, I go to hockey, and we always try to have pizza and beer before hockey. Quaint little Italian restaurant, and I do not drink wine there. I drink PBR. So if you've ever ordered a PBR, you know exactly that came from Pabst. And don't forget, guys, just scream bingo at us. Okay, this was fascinating. Another great thing. This person originally manufactured soap, not beer, but soap. And his daughters married into the Bush family. That was a huge hint.
yeah. So Bush is the son-in-law of Anheuser.
Yep. So Eberhard Anheuser, he originally decided that he was going to build his kingdom, his empire on soap. And he switched to beer. His daughters married into the Bush family. Don't know if that's how Anheuser-Busch came to be. Maybe so through the generations. I'll let you guys kind of research, and somebody feel free to DM me or put it up on the bingo. Jacob Best was the last. So you should have Valentine Blatz, Jacob Best, Lawrence Omole, Eberhard Anheuser. This is a very family brewery. They've tried to stay family. They've not tried to sell out at all. And it's a Belgium strong ale, and I'm going to need help from the audience. I'm going to need to call a friend in chat because I'm going to say the name wrong. But it's Jan Leonardus Morgat. Moortgat, and I know I have a friend in chat who's going to help me out. So
I just lost you for a minute. Were you talking to me?
The family brewery in Belgium is Jan Leonardus Moortgat.
I would say Mortgat, but I don't know how that's. I've never heard it pronounced, so I don't know.
Oh wow! Thank you. I was hoping you would let me know. Thank you. Okay, so
Yeah, there it is.
my caller friend will.
Can I?
Okay, this one is
What
a
time?
very interesting one as well. David, there's somebody talking.
Okay,
So
what
this brewer arrived in Baltimore, Maryland, reportedly as a stowaway. And you're going to be surprised at this one, I think. And I'm going to give everybody a hint of who the name is. I will just say the mountains are blue. And I'm not talking about Appalachia. The mountains are blue. So this brewer arrived in Baltimore, Maryland, reportedly as a stowaway. He had no money at all, could not speak any English. And he decided he's going to leave Baltimore. He's going to branch out and head west for new opportunities. And that would be, of course.
Yeah. And they were talking.
Yep, Herbie got it.
Herbie got it there.
Yep.
Let me try to do this. Sure. Let's go to the bathroom, then I'll go to Genealogy. Okay. Great.
Okay. And we got one to go. Ann has one to go. Founder and first president of America's oldest brewery. I would give you it. I'm going to give you two hints. I'm going to give you two hints. Probably not good hints, unless you know me well and you have been out with me. The founder and first president of America's oldest brewery. This brewery is, wait for it, in Appalachia. And guess who got it? One of my Appalachians. So, yeah, Yingling, David Yingling. And this would
And interestingly, that's not how the name was spelled originally. It was originally spelled with a J.
And I will tell you too, almost everybody gets the name wrong many times in their life. Good job, Aaron. Oh, Aaron got bingo. Aaron got bingo. Aaron, did you get bingo on that? And that's pretty cool because Aaron has ties to Pennsylvania and Appalachia. So congratulations, Aaron, on that. That's pretty cool. Again, you're going to want to email Awen, and I'll bring that up. Give me 1 second. You're going to want to email Awen and let her know that you won the second bingo of March, second bingo card of March. And she'll get you all hooked up and ready to go and tell you what you do. It's a mug. I'll tell you now, it's a mug. And this is my bingo mug, but I have lots of other ones as well. So congratulations to everybody. Congratulations, Kirby and Aaron. Thank you guys for playing. I know it was a little different. I hope you had fun with the trivia. What we wanted to do is give you a little bit more facts on the notables that are on WikiTree instead of just saying their names. And the page that David created with the bingo notables, feel free, head on over there tonight, this weekend, see if you can get some connected, see if you can add some, pick your favorite brewer, pick your favorite location, pick your favorite, almost project, because there was Italy, there was Germany, there was Hungary, there was Austria. There's a lot of different choices that you could pick, Canada, England. And believe it or not, on the bingo card, we also had a lot of Australians that didn't pop up on our bingo card. So there are Australian brewers as well. David, any hint of what April might bring?
Of what April might bring? I'm not going to give too much of a hint for April because it's a bit of a surprise, but we'll just say it's very colorful theme.
And I'll give you guys.
Does that register to you?
Yeah, there we go. And there's the link for the bingo page. I will say, well, actually, April is pretty keen to comfort. I mean, keen.
Oh, I'm sorry. I gave the wrong clue. I was going for a different project. So you're right. So let me think. What else could we say? Very keen, but
you can say there was a murder involved.
There's a murder involved. Absolutely.
And let me just, while we go through that, yes, Jimmy Buffett had a beer, Landshark. He was one of the major owners of Landshark beer. Biscuits. I am having them for dinner tonight, biscuits and gravy, as a matter of fact, and Jimmy Buffett beer. I thought that was interesting and a good way to kind of give him a shout out in our bingo. Okay, guys. David, have a safe
Yeah,
from
and I will say, go ahead and use the Brewers list as a checklist to try out some new beers. Take it with you to the grocery store.
That's a great idea.
You just match the logos to the refrigeration section, and
And then when you do that, make sure to tell us on the space page what was
Yeah.
your favorite. So
Yeah.
we know, we'll go try it out as well. So you headed home tomorrow?
am I headed home tomorrow?
Uh-huh.
No, not till Sunday.
Not till Sunday.
Yeah,
Well,
I got
that's
2 more
right,
days here.
Tuesday, Saturday. So
Sun-
have fun. Are you having fun?
Oh, am I having fun? It is. It's a lot of fun, but it's overwhelming. This is like Disneyland for genealogists. It is so much stimulation.
Well, guys, I think what David's trying to say is plan for next year. Be at Roots.
And if you ever come, leave your wallet at home.
Leave your wallet
There's a lot of stuff here to
buy.
to work. Yeah. But it's a lot of fun. It's a really amazing event. Yeah.
I agree there. Well, have safe travels when you come home. And thank you guys, because we know that you could be watching Roots Tech now. There's a lot going on at Roots Tech as well. So thank you for spending a little bit of your March with us. We appreciate it. And we will see you guys next month. Congratulations again to Kirby and Aaron. Bye, guys.